Hello YouTube world, it's Mara and welcome back to my channel that serves literally no purpose besides bringing you guys some mediocre entertainment and me joy. And you're probably wondering, Marisol, why are you in your bed? I couldn't be bothered to sit up. I really couldn't. I'm sorry. Okay, I know deep in my head that I am a hopeless romantic and that I want to do all these cute, stunning, lovely things with a significant other that I don't have. So instead of waiting for that significant other to come into my life, I'm just like, why not do it by myself? I can't wait for something to happen to start doing all of these fun things. So that being said, I've always wanted to go on a picnic. So tomorrow I want to take myself on a picnic. So today is just gonna be like the prep of it. We are gonna go to Target to buy the things we need. I don't really know what you take on a picnic, but it can't be like that much. So maybe I should Google that. But let's just get started. Okay, so I'm outside of Target and I Googled like what food to take on a picnic, and it was giving very much recipes and not like the actual foods that you would bring to a picnic. So I'm like, you can't go wrong with a cheese platter. So I think I'm gonna get stuff for a cheese platter. I think I will get fruit. I was thinking maybe like hummus and chips, but usually the hummus we like is from a farmer's market, and that farmer's market I think is only like on Sundays. I don't know if that's gonna give me an idea. But anyway, I don't have a picnic basket either, but there's no way in hell I'm buying a picnic basket unless it's like $2. So I'm probably just gonna pack everything in like a regular bag or something. I don't know. Let's go look what they have. I'm back from Target and Nala is here with me. I don't know if she's gonna make a cameo or not. But okay, I got these crackers. I got this salami. I don't know. I got this thing of cheese. And then I got blueberries and raspberries for the charcuterie board. And I was also thinking of just making like finger sandwiches. So yeah, I'm probably like making some lemonade. I don't know why my brain just like stopped working there. Anyway, I'm gonna get to packing all the shit so that way I don't really have to do much tomorrow. But I could probably make the sandwiches and the lemonade tomorrow, because that's not going to take that long. The next day we headed to the beach and we had a lovely picnic. And originally I was going to go alone, but Friday I hung out with a friend and we were talking about our traumas and healing, and she helped me realize an area I haven't fully healed yet. In my head, I was thinking, I've gone through the deepest, darkest depression I could have ever imagined in my life thus far. How could I have just missed it? And it threw me for a loop to realize it, but even more to accept it. That, yeah, I kind of breezed over this while I was healing. And we're about to get really deep in my shit to try and unpack this. What is this trauma we're going to talk about? You guessed it, abandonment issues that have developed into horrible trust issues that make me avoid certain things and idolize some unhealthy habits. So for everyone's privacy's sake, I will only be sharing the details of my parents' divorce that are absolutely necessary to understanding, because neither of my parents asked to be on the internet, and quite frankly, I think they'd hate it. My parents separated when I was 17, and while things were definitely not amicable, they never got unnecessarily ugly. My mom had been trying for the past 7 to 8 years when I was 17, so that was like 5-6 years ago. For those past 7 to 8 years, to make the marriage work. But my dad was going through his own traumas and had just developed some really unhealthy coping mechanisms, and most of the time those unhealthy coping mechanisms put our family in jeopardy. a lot. So they finally separated, and I don't think it was for a lack of love. And while it kind of seems like it was mutual, or that my mom chose to leave, it was partly that and the fact that my dad just didn't want to try and work on the marriage, work on his own traumas. My dad was also the one who physically left the home, so he's a truck driver, so majority of my childhood he would be gone during the week and here during the weekends. But now that I look back closer to when they were getting separated, he was definitely gone for longer periods of time. And then one weekend he came home, I think that Friday, and then he left and never came back. And it definitely stings now that I'm older, because you kind of just wish you would have known like that was the last time he was ever going to step foot in this house, just to cherish those moments a little more. But you can't do anything about it, so I guess that's why the saying goes, you always try to live life like it's the last moment you're ever going to see people that you love. But at 17 I really was not thinking like that at all. And on his part, I never got a clear explanation on why they separated or why he left, more than me ugly crying in the phone, calling him, and he telling me that his problems with my mom were not any of our fault, as in the kids, and me just sobbing and not being able to believe a single thing that he was saying. I just always thought it was my fault, I did something wrong, obviously as a kid. Now you gain more understanding and you realize like they really just had their own issues as individuals and in a marriage. Now that I'm older, I'm very lucky that I'm one of the few kids of divorce that now has a relationship with both parents. I love my dad so much and I've forgiven him for everything. I don't even want to say forgiven because I don't think that's the right word to use, but now I've definitely come to understand and unpack and give a ton of grace as to why he left. I think when I was younger, and I think this is a lot of people, you just think your parents are superhuman and that they can deal with everything and anything. And as you get older, you realize they're not. They're literally just humans, just like us, and they have their own problems. And for sure, my parents have their own traumas that they need to deal with. So at the end of the day, all I want for either of my parents is just to be happy. Like, I just want them to genuinely and fully be so happy with their lives. Anyway, now on to how this has affected me. So I trusted my parents would always be there the same way I trusted that the sun will always rise tomorrow. It may not happen, but I still put 110% of my hope and faith that it will. So when my dad left, a person that I thought I could rely on for absolutely anything, it completely shattered my trust. My world blew up quite literally in the following years. I fell into one of the worst depressions I have ever experienced in my life thus far. I quite honestly pushed everyone away that was close to me at the time because my self-confidence was at an all-time low, and I couldn't fathom the thought of giving someone else my complete trust like that again and just having it broken. So then I started my healing journey, and going through that, I really just focused on forgiving, understanding a lot, and rebuilding myself because my confidence was nowhere to be found. So I didn't really focus on trusting people because I had pushed everyone away. So there was literally no one left to give my trust to. And dating was the last thing on my mind, to be completely honest. I was just trying to survive day to day. And now, since I've grown up a lot, healing journey wise and age wise. When I was talking to my friend, I told her I can't imagine hitting all these milestones in my life with someone there. Like, I always envision myself hitting these milestones by myself, like buying a house and raising kids. I know you need someone else, but I just can't picture that person being there. And while a lot of these things are normal, for me it definitely ties into my trauma. And she literally looked at me and was like, that's not healthy. I don't think you have fully healed from that. It's like, you should want to get into a relationship to help build each other up and help grow together. When she said that, it honestly made me realize how much I'm actively avoiding relationships, because the thought of ever feeling like I need somebody again quite literally terrifies me. The thought of giving someone else my trust again and having it be shattered could literally make me go into cardiac arrest. So it's just easier to avoid these things altogether, right? And that has kind of led me to idolize this hyper independent woman culture. And while there's nothing wrong with women being independent, self-sustaining, not needing anyone, I myself was definitely using it to cover and mold like a blanket over my traumas so I wouldn't have to deal with it. So then I kind of communicated to my friend that I'm scared of how I might react when and if my trust is broken again in relationships, because it's not something I have encountered since I was 17. So she gave me 3 great tips, and one was to take baby steps. So I was like, yeah, definitely, I need to take baby steps. 2 was to communicate very thoroughly with any partners that I'm taking seriously, so they're aware of my traumas and my triggers and how my reaction might quite literally be all over the place. And 3, that I'll never learn to trust people again unless I try. And from one of my favorite authors, Brene Brown, Daring Greatly is the book that I've read from her. I literally read that book when I was like 18, 19. She talks about how vulnerability is powerful and how that's the area that you're gonna grow through the most. And this is definitely not a trauma I want to shy away from. I want to learn and I want to grow. So that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna jump into a relationship tomorrow, but I think it definitely means that I am a lot more open to that and a lot more open to creating friendships, hopefully. So just to end this monologue, I definitely believe in cycles, and the energy you put out is energy you get back. So I want to apologize to anyone. I mean, I don't know if anyone that I harmed will be watching this, but in case they are, I just want to put this energy out in the universe. I want to apologize and say I'm sorry to anyone that I harmed while I was in the deepest, darkest depression and actively trying to avoid my traumas and parts of my healing. So I'm sorry, and here's to healing and growing. So that was, for me, fucking deep. But also I feel like creating this video has really helped a huge part of me heal that. I kid you not, while I was typing out what I was gonna write, because I was like, I just have to type out my thoughts because otherwise I'm gonna be a spitball of mess and not get anything cohesive out. I was at my laptop bawling my eyes out, like fucking t-shirt in eyes, hunched over, just crying like a baby. So yeah, this was very healing for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got something from this, with all of the peace and the blessings, and I will see you guys in the next one.